Many are in business, they have never learned how. They think what they need is capital. No, you need capital how. Capital how is what gets you there. One of our elders here has a functional foundation, and this foundation looks after widows. And he told me a story last Sunday, very interesting, because the foundation was buying, grinding meal for everybody, and I said, look, why don't we find out from them what they are good at doing? And so they asked this woman, I said, he's good at baking pop-off and akara. And what she needed was 8,500. 8,500. They put 8,500 in her hand. First month, she made 24,000 out of it. Come on now. How to. The know-how. What do you know how to do? He said, I know how to bake akara and pop-off. How much do you need to get started? He said, I would need 8,500. They put 8,500 in her hand, and in 1 month, 24,000. He rented a shop. By the time they saw her, they couldn't recognize her. Are you the one? 8,500 with know-how transformed her destiny. 8,500 with know-how. 1 million without know-how will finish. A man came to me one time and said, I don't know what to do. I said, what is the problem? He said, I gave 1 million to my son to start business. He's finished it. He came back again. I said, no, I won't give anything. So they begged me. So I gave him another 1 million. He said, I has finished. He said, I'm going to sell everything I have now before I die, because I know this one will finish it. Now, 1 million without knowing how equals frustration and failure. So it's important to know how to go about your mission. You are in industry. Go and learn the know-how in that aspect of industry. You are in ministry. Settle down to learn how to go about it. The know-how is the capital prize in your journey to leadership. You cannot take the lead, set the pace, and blaze the trail without knowing how in any field. You cannot. And that takes time, like I have always illustrated. You have asked yourself, what do you want to study? And the son said, I want to be a medical doctor. And he was telling you that story when he was going to secondary school. Now he has 6 years ahead of him, isn't it? In his process of learning how. Now, this boy knew that he was going for medical profession or medical training in primary school. And now he needs 6 years in secondary schools, and he needs to be directed. You better face anything science, because that's the only way to get into medicine. Now he leaves that one to now go to this university for 7 years. That's equal 13 years. He goes for 1 year house job or internship or whatever, and that makes it 14 years. Now, he knew where to go in 7 days. He needs to learn how to start going there in 14 years. That's why I called the know-how as the capital price in your journey to leadership. It's a capital cost. That's why the Bible says wisdom is the principal thing. With all you're getting, get understanding. Wisdom is the principal thing. And what is wisdom? I've tried to define it from the mouth of Jesus. In Matthew 7, 24 and 25, wisdom can be defined as the acquisition and intelligible application of knowledge. Acquisition and intelligible application of relevant knowledge. Acquisition and intelligible application of relevant knowledge. Acquisition and intelligible application of relevant knowledge. Now, what I mean is this. Somebody is going to manufacturing. He will be stupid to be reading Charles Spurgeon's books to develop his skills in manufacturing. And be reading Smith Wigglesworth's books. You can read those ones for inspiration. But for direct application, you will need to read the works of great manufacturers in the area of manufacturing you are going into, and understudy the practicing manufacturers in that field. That is relevant knowledge. Relevant knowledge. You cannot become a leading lawyer reading my books. No, my books can inspire your understanding in legal books, but will never be a substitute for it. Listen to me again. I mean acquisition and application of relevant knowledge. Relevant knowledge. I met one of our daughters in Côte d'Ivoire, and I said, hey, my daughter, what are you heading for? Because he works for their broadcasting industry. He said, I want to emerge an Oprah Winfrey in Africa. I said, good. Have you ever read anything about Oprah Winfrey? Have you ever read a book about her or from her or by her? She was looking at me. I said, you have not started your journey. You have not started your journey. Acquisition and application of relevant knowledge. That's wisdom. Wisdom is not common sense. No, it is common sense that makes common men. There are many common men in Africa because we only celebrate common sense. We celebrate what? Common sense. My forefather told my father that just mind where you are going. You will get there. And my grandmother told my mother that as long as you don't cause trouble, there is no way you will not make it. Amen. Then the question is, how more did your father make it? And your grandfather who propounded the theory, what did he invent? You see, common sense and native intelligence has eroded the African man's place in leadership. We are not craving after current knowledge, so we become outdated. It's so important for you to know that without acquisition of relevant knowledge and application of the same, your access to the throne is impossible. Because by wisdom, by know-how, kings reign and princes decree justice. By wisdom, princes rule, and yea, all the judges of the earth, all of them, all the judges, every leader in every field, raised by wisdom, raised by being in touch with the know-hows. They are in touch with the know-hows. They are in touch with the know-hows. Now, you see, last night I was checking out on a few things here, and then 2002, I began studying some universities that made so much run in preparation for Covenant University. And then I went to Princeton, went to Harvard, Yale University, California Institute of Technology, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Stanford University, University of Pennsylvania, Duke University, Dartmouth University. Now, those are the first 9 leading universities in the world by 2002 rating. Now, we're going to start a university, so let's get the ones who are causing the waves now. So I went down the system, downloaded all downloadables, and now began to study them like somebody going to write a professional exams on it. I studied them to a point that I knew where Covenant was going. The spirit of prophecy was riding on knowledge. Is somebody hear what I'm talking about? Now, because now, listen to me. Harvard was number 2 here. Princeton was number 1. Now, all these universities were church-based universities. In fact, Princeton, you must be able to render the whole New Testament in Greek before you can be admitted. Now, so, one, it strengthened my confidence that we are on course. 2, it enlarged my capacity to think outside the box. The force with which I confronted NUC, nobody has ever done that in their life. Because I have found how it runs, and I know it has to be run based on vision, or it will die with time. As at that time, Yale was 274 years old. Harvard was 366 years old. As at that point in time. And for them to still be relevant, let me find out how it is running. And I'm sure you like to hear the good news. Last Sunday, I announced it in church that the African Union Higher Education Rating Platform, which started doing their work since February this year, came out with their result last Saturday, got it through our system. Covenant University is number 7 in Africa in only 8 years. And by that rating, number 1 in Nigeria. It came out just last Saturday. They did a selection of, they selected some pilot program appraiser for, on an international scale grading for universities in Nigeria. And 2 universities made A in it, Covenant and another, in this country. This month, November, Nigeria is to be represented in an European Union, African Union Education Development Forum. And 2 universities are to go there this November, Covenant University and 1 other. Now, all that in 8 years, because of 1, grace, 2, a working knowledge of the subject. A working knowledge of. I knew more than I knew my name, that Covenant University, under 10 years, and I spoke by prophecy. I said within 10 years, it will become a world-class university. I said within 10 years. Now this is 8 years. This is 8 years. Today, state governments need our input. Federal government needs our input. Today, the entrepreneurial development studies that we do here is now made compulsory for all Nigerian universities. And they are supposed to come and learn it here. 8 years. You see, I'd like you to hate common knowledge. Common sense. Hate common sense. It makes a common man hate common sense. If you are a tailor, learn how to tailor properly. Understand how to expand tailoring empire. Commit yourself to doing the same thing. You'll be there. Today I'm in touch with a number of presidents across the nations of the world, but I learned how to relate with them from Billy Graham. Amen. I learned how to relate with them and how to define my limits from him. His was among the biographies I selected in preparing for ministry, 39 of them. So I'm not running ministry by common sense. No. I'm drawing on the intelligence, the high-level intelligence of giants. I soaked myself in their knowledge, and I'm still buying into their wisdom in doing what I'm doing. Many know where they're going, very few know how to get there. Go and learn how to get there. It's a lifelong school. Lifelong school. It's a lifelong